Welcome back, everyone. So I planned to go live. I just didn't know how to do it. It'd be my first live if I was able to go live. Anyway, apparently I need to wait 24 hours. It's Reese's birthday today and he's asked me to make his favourite dish, which is basically curry goat. I've already seasoned it. Hold on, let me show you. In fact, you probably won't see me again. I'm just going to talk and cook. So yeah, you probably won't see me again. So here's the meat that I've seasoned. So it's already been washed and cleaned and prepared. Let me show you. Hold on. So this has been seasoned and I've put it in the fridge for like 2 days. You know, I bought it on the Monday. It's now Wednesday. So yeah, 2 days. 2 days ago, I cleaned it and seasoned it and then put it in the fridge. Here's how it looks. It smells beautiful. It smells delicious. Look at the flavours there. You can see the colour, the turmeric, the curry powder, the fresh herbs and spices, the onions, garlic. Anyway, that is how it looks now and it smells delightful. Right, so I've got my pot here with a little bit of oil, just heating nicely. I'm waiting for it to get nice and hot. Then I'm gonna put the meat in the pot. But I'm not gonna overcrowd it. What I'm gonna do is just put it in little by little and then take it out once it's brown and repeat the process until I've browned all the meat. Then I'm going to incorporate it all back into the pot, put the lid on, leave it for a couple of hours to simmer down. This would have been really good live as well, but unfortunately I have to wait 24 hours. But look at that. So I'm going to put that, that's going to be the first bit of meat to go into my pan of hot oil. Let me just check that it's hot enough. I think the oil's hot enough now, so I'm going to start putting the meat in slowly and little by little. There you go, you can hear it sizzling, so that means that the oil is nice and hot. Such a shame that this couldn't be live though. I'm going to keep talking as if it was live, even though it'll be pre-recorded. Just imagine it being live. Maybe next time I can do a live. So yeah, it's Reese's birthday today, and this is his favourite dish. Every year it's the same, literally curry goat, and no one does it better than Mum. There we go. I mean, already the smells are just beautiful. Very pungent, very flavourful, very well seasoned. I mean, look at that. There's not a naked area on that piece of meat there. That is well seasoned. Look at that. Yeah, the smell's coming from this pot. Oh my days. Yeah, it's already starting to get nicely brown. I would say it only takes a couple of minutes as well in the pan just to brown. But remember, I am just browning it. Then I'm going to take it out, put it on the plate, and then just brown the rest of the meat off, and then incorporate it all back once it's all brown. And I'm also going to be trying to scrape off some of the seasoning. So let me show you. While I'm browning it, I don't really want to be browning it at high heat with all those onions and all that garlic and those fresh thyme leaves. So I'm going to try and scrape those off before browning it, so that doesn't burn, you know, and I can use that later on and put it all back in. So look, there's a nice brown piece. I don't know if you can see. Ooh. That's nicely brown, so that can go onto the plate, and that is what we're looking for when we're browning the meat. Yeah, the oil's nice and hot, so it doesn't take too long. You know what, let me get a bigger spoon. Hold on a sec. That's more like it. Notice how I'm trying to knock all the seasonings off before putting it into the oil as well, just to preserve them. Otherwise they'll burn, and you don't want a burnt curry. No one likes burnt curry. That's just Reese in the background. He's playing Mario Kart and he's sounds like he's losing, to be honest. Right, that's about enough. Let me see if I can show you. Hold on. Pot is very, very hot. Look at that. That's how much I've got in there. So it's not overcrowded and it is all touching the bottom of the pan. So it can brown nicely. So the meat is nicely brown. Hold on, let me show you. Woo. Look at that, it looks delicious. So I'm gonna literally put it back into the pot with the last bit of browning meat that's in there, because that's brown already now. Just scrape it back in. And I guess everyone's got their own way of doing it, you know. Some people just put it all in and put the lid on and let it all cook down one time. But I like to get a nice colour on my meat. I don't like it too pale looking. But you can see that is beautifully brown. Let me just put that there. And then I like to just put some butter in, just to enrich that gravy. I'm just going to cover that now so it can steam a little bit and cook some more before I add the onions and the seasonings that I scraped off earlier. So let me give that about 10 minutes just covered. And I'll be right back. So it's been about 5 minutes or so. I'm going to turn it now. So let me see how it's looking. It looks good. It smells beautiful. If only you could smell it. So yeah, I think I'll use the big spoon for this one. So just to turn it to make sure nothing's burning at the bottom. It looks nice and glossy where that butter's melted in. And it's got such a lovely deep brown colour. I know some curries can be very yellow, but this has got like a more of a goldeny brown tinge. Just a curry colour really. Let me show you, hold on. Here's how it's looking now. It's nowhere near cooked yet, it's just brown really, and it's just creating its own juices. So I'll put the lid on for another 10 minutes just so it can create some more steam and more natural juice. Right, so I'm gonna check it again. Look at that, it looks beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna add the seasonings from earlier, what I scraped off. Now I have chopped a whole tomato and just put in there, just to give it some more freshness. I would have put 2, but one of them didn't look so good, so I could only use 1. So you can only use what you've got, right? Let me scrape this in. With that flavour going back in. This is definitely not lacking in flavour, I'll tell you that. And while that's steaming, I'm going to go and do the dishes. So yeah, it just makes sense. Right, so I'm going to take the lid off one more time and see how it looks. Ooh. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. In fact, look at that. So look, as you can see, it's created a lovely gravy. I put a tiny bit of water in there just to give it a little bit more liquid, obviously. So yeah, it looks good, it smells good. The gravy's got a lovely consistency and a lovely shine. That is going to be delicious. Right, so all that's left to do now is just to put that on a simmer and leave that, forget about it for a couple of hours. So yeah, I'll see you soon. So while the curry's cooking, I've literally put it on the back burner so I could, you know, use the front burners and cook more things. So obviously I need to do some rice. I've got some basmati rice here. Let me hide the brand. See, some people measure using a cup when they make rice, but we seem to eat a lot of rice in this house, and it never wastes, even if I make loads. So I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm just gonna tip it in, and yeah, an eye measurement. That is how I measure most of my things, to be honest. I would say that's about 2 or 3 cups, 2.5 cups maybe. So I'm gonna go and give this a wash, take all the starch out, and then bring it back. Give me a sec. I've heard that some places in the world don't rinse their rice though. Let me know in the comments how you prepare your rice. Be interested to know. Okay, so I'm literally gonna bring that up to the boil and then drop it down to a simmer for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna season it now with a bit of salt. Again, an eyeball measurement. There we go. That actually seems like a lot of salt, but it's not. That's a good amount. I like to put about that much butter in as well. There we go. So I'll just put the lid on, wait for that to bubble up, and then drop that down to really low for about 10 minutes. So the rice is done. I steamed it for about 10 minutes. It looks lovely, loose and fluffy inside, but I can already see that some of the top grains look a bit hard. Not too hard, but they could do with maybe another minute or two. So what I'll do is I'll just turn the heat off and just push that to the back and let the steam do the rest of the cooking. Look at the state of that. You can see that I use that burner all the time. Any tips how to bring that back? Let me know in the comments. So here's how it looks after about an hour and a half. Look at that. It's not quite done yet though, but almost there. Probably about another 45 minutes. It's on like a medium heat as well, so it's not too low. Just trying to speed it up a little bit, to be honest. So the curry is done. It took about 2.5 hours, but I'll show you how it looks now. Ooh. Let's have a look. Look at that. Nice and soft, literally falling off the bone. And look at the colour on that as well. Doesn't that look beautiful? All that's left to do now is plate up. And there you have it, the final plate. So there's my curry goat with basmati rice and just some green salad leaves on the side and some shop bought coleslaw because I really didn't have time to be making coleslaw as well. So yeah, looking forward to this one. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.